Good evening, everyone. You welcome to the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. In our top stories, the Bishop of the Boya Diocese, His Lordship Michael Bibi, says the war in the Anglophone regions and the fight against Boko Haram has drastically reduced human lives to nothing. He was speaking at the cathedral while urging the government of Cameroon to find lasting solutions to the armed conflict in two English-speaking regions of the country and strategize to combat Boko Haram fighters who have been causing hostilities to the population of the far north region of the country. We also talk about two young girls, twin sisters, who were impregnated by a young man. They are finally given birth. Our Southwest Regional Correspondent Derek Jato visited them. He says they are living in complete deplorable conditions. They are victims of the Anglophone crisis. Also, insecurity continues rising in the economic capital, Douala, the Littoral Regional Large, known as the land of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Two suspected individuals, or two individuals suspected to have been buying stolen items, have been apprehended by elements of the 4th Police District and presented to the public at the time when insecurity is as well on the rise in Bonandale in the Douala 3 subdivision, as a gang has been dismantled, a gang that has been causing nightmare to locals. Those were top stories. Good evening once again. You welcome to the 6 p.m. newscast on Equinoxe television. We begin with news in the economic capital, Douala, to talk about insecurity that is on the rise. This time around, two individuals suspected to have been buying stolen items from an individual, or individuals have been apprehended by elements of the 4th Police District. They were presented to the public, and the security officials are calling on the population to collaborate to enable them successful in their operation to flush out the bad men or the bad elements in the locality. Details with Smajikan and Gabriel.
From the first view, one will think someone is packing out of a resident. We are at the Valley Besenge neighborhood where security forces discovered several items without justification at the residence of a man by name Paul, also known as Koloko.
Pendant qu'on s'apprêtait à l'exploiter, je vais recevoir un informateur.
As we are about to interrogate him, an informant told us the man who was arrested had several materials in his residence at Valley Besenge.
Il me dit, le papa que vous avez interpellé, si on descend même dans sa maison, vous allez voir beaucoup d'autres choses.
The items believed to be stolen are later sold at black market prices. After the descent of the security forces Monday, these items will be later displayed at the esplanade of the 4th District Police Station in Douala, alongside those accused of buying stolen items. But how did the security forces trace the stolen goods?
Nous avons fait une descente.
We made a stopover at the spare parts sales point in Bonakwangwa, fondly called Cas. During our stopover, we caught a certain Paul buying new spades freshly stolen from a construction site. As we caught him, he said he had a store just at the site.
On l'interpelle, il nous dit qu'il a son magasin tout juste derrière.
With visitors expected in the country for the African Nations Cup, Raymond Esogo, regional delegate of national security, continues to call on his collaborators to be vigilant and add up to their operations.
Insecurity that is rising at an alarming rate as well in Bonandale and Sotiko vicinities, all in the Douala 4 subdivision, and a gang of individuals has been dismantled by national gendarmerie elements that were presented to the population. Smart Njukan Gabriel, rather Charles Kume has details.
Residents of the Bonandale and Suriko villages in the Douala 4 subdivision decry the rising rate of insecurity. They say theft, assaults and burglary are recurrent.
These people, they don't come around 2 o'clock for night.
Some thugs got to my house at about 2 a.m. in the morning, forced my door and got in. I was beaten with a cutlass. They asked me to give them money and I told them I don't have money.
That's all place. They say me that I give them money. I say no, I don't get money.
They were stealing on a daily basis and we'll be doing everything at our own local means to try to stop the bandit, but it is really impossible, even though we have a gendarmerie post here at Bonandale.
Following a series of complaints from locals, the gendarmerie company commander for Douala 3, Yves Robert Awumo Owuna, embarked on a security mission in order to fish out a gang of bandits who are said to have been causing terror in the above-mentioned localities. A mission which yielded fruits, says Achille Edang, brigade commander for Bonandale Gendarmerie Unit.
Nous avons été saisis par nos populations qui se plaignaient, qui nous ont saisis par des plaintes qu'elles sont victimes.
We were informed by the local population who were complaining about several cases of theft and burglary between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the community. We immediately got to work following orders from the company commander and traced a stolen phone, which led us to one of the thugs. He eventually enabled us to arrest the rest of the gang.
Nous ont permis à partir du traçage d'un téléphone de mettre la main respectivement sur l'un des braqueurs qui nous a conduits vers les autres.
Achille Edang further expatiates on the items which were seized from the bandits when apprehended.
Nous avons saisi 2 armes de fabrication artisanale.
We seized 2 rifles, so many TV sets, as well as mobile phones, bottles of wines and whiskey. They also had cutlasses and equipment used to breaking into homes. The local population recognized the bandits and most of their belongings. We shall be handing them their belongings soon.
Effectivement, les populations riveraines qui sont venues sur place les ont reconnus comme tels et ont reconnu effectivement beaucoup de leurs effets qui pourront leur être restitués après.
The bandits and thugs, on their part, portrayed an apologetic nature during their presentation to the press.
Ce que je peux dire à toute cette population, c'est mon pardon. J'ai été manipulé.
I want to ask for forgiveness from the inhabitants of Bonandale. I was manipulated by some bad friends. I call on the population to forgive me genuinely. All that said, the bandits, who are now in the dragnets of the forces of law and order, are currently awaiting justice to take its course.
The project for the expansion of the east entryway into Douala, the nation's economic capital, Douala of Cameroon, has been abandoned, leaving the population in complete disappointment. The Minister of Public Works says funds meant for realization of this project has finished. Details in this report compiled by Formi Armstrong Sander.
Road construction equipment abandoned on the project site for the expansion of the east entryway into the city of Douala. These machines abandoned to rust have not been put to use for the past 6 months. The site presents disturbing images, with some areas turning bushy already, while others have been transformed into a waste disposal site. At a place called Ari, roadside vendors have found a new business site, avoiding the areas worsened by heavy rainfall in the city of Douala.
The issue is that the road has not been well done. We are here because the other side is unbearable. The project has been abandoned since February.
On the stretch leading to the Dibamba Bridge, no walker is seen along. Even more dangerous on this stretch is how vehicles squeeze around to find a way out of the narrow passage. A veritable nightmare for transporters.
We suffer a lot to be able to transport passengers to Yessa. The bad road has also provoked traffic congestion. We hope they fix it before AFCON 2021.
Inhabitants along this strategic stretch of the road that links Cameroon's economic capital city Douala to the political capital city Yaoundé are sending distress calls to the government. It is also important to note that this stretch of the road also leads to one of the major sites to host matches of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. The contract to build the road has been awarded by the government of Cameroon, seized and re-awarded to about 2 different enterprises, and today the Cameroonian Minister of Public Works says there are no funds to continue with the project.
Away from that, we take you now to Boya, chief town of the southwest region of the country, to talk about 2 young girls, twin sisters, who were impregnated by a young man. They are finally given birth. Our southwest regional correspondent Derek Jato visited their residence where they are living in a deplorable condition. They are victims of the Anglophone question school dropout. He found out for Equinoxe television the realities these twin sisters who were impregnated by a young man finally given birth are going through. He compiled this report.
A baby is calling for attention. That is the child of Gilda, one of the twin sisters. The 16-year-old twin sisters all have newborn. One gave birth July 21 and the other July 23, 2021. And at the time of this report, the babies were less than 12 days old. And they are just less than 1 week in this house. In Boya, they came in from Tole, a suburb in Boya subdivision.
Now there are small houses they stayed in the inside bush or backside. You see trees. My neighbor, they actually.
A good Samaritan brought them here. The twin sisters, Gilda and Hilda, dropped out of school because of the Anglophone crisis. Secessionists were punishing those going to school. And reports say the 2 babies from the twin sisters have the same father. And Mr. Daniel, the father of the 2 girls, now the grandfather of the 2 babies, expressed some doubt, but told us that he cannot tell us anything until when permitted to do so.
You give me time to discuss with her and tell her who you are, what your mission you want, and she gives me the go ahead, and then I give you a feedback.
All right.
Schedule that.
All right, okay, no problem.
All right.
Noted. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thanks a lot. I've heard a
Your
lot of.
name again, please.
I'm Derek Jato. I'm the Southwest correspondent.
Oh, okay, Derek Jato. I know the name.
Thank you very so much. Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot, madam. And our attempt for authorization to permit Mr. Daniel tell us what he knows was not successful.
While the flames have consumed a popular restaurant in Limbe in the southwest region of Cameroon, the material damage is estimated to worth millions of francs CFA. Davidson Maimo reports.
No way.
Eyewitness account holds the fire started at about 6:30 a.m. Monday the 2nd of August 2021. The fire is said to have emanated from the main kitchen of the restaurant and speed up by the explosion of one of the cooking gas bottles. With the doors made of steel, patriotic citizens who rushed to the scene could not remove any of the item from the kitchen. Nonetheless, the population did what they could do to safeguard some items. Though the real cause of the fire incident is yet to be established by the forces of law and order, the fire incident brings to 6 in number in less than 3 months within the city of Limbe. Hotspot restaurant structure situated at the Limbe Botanic Garden is owned by the Ministry of Environment and the Protection of Nature, and it is being managed by a private individual.
His Lordship Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Boya Diocese, says the war in the Anglophone regions and the far north region of Cameroon has claimed human lives and has reduced them to nothing. He was speaking at the cathedral recently in Boya, chief town of the southwest region of the country, while urging the government of Cameroon to take concrete measures in order to protect lives of civilians in these three regions, the northwest, southwest, and far north regions, facing difficulties in the hands of separatist fighters and Boko Haram. Details with Derry Jato.
The war in the Anglophone regions and attacks by Boko Haram in the far north region of Cameroon have resulted to many dead.
We are living in a situation now, especially in the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, the situation of Boko Haram in the northern part of Cameroon, where human life has no value again.
And today, Bishop Michael Bibi, Bishop of the Diocese of Boya, is celebrating his 50th birthday with Bishop Emeritus Emmanuel Boshu, now 77. And it is no secret that many Cameroonians in these war-hit regions will not get to the age of these men of God, which is not any fault of theirs, for their lives have been cut short by others.
Life is sacred, it's a gift from God. Only God can give life and only God can take away life. That we should respect our own lives, respect the lives of others, and make sure that we do not do anything that will jeopardize.
And during a requiem mass at the co-cathedral site in Moleko Boya, Bishop Michael Bibi of the Diocese of Boya called for solidarity and communion as a family and as children of God.
And now locals in local authorities of Limbe 3 subdivision southwest region say youth want contractors of the Bimbia Dikolo road sent away. Since 2017, the contractor of the said road is said to have worsened the road situation, making it practically impassable. Details once more with Davidson Maimo.
The mayor will not indulge in violence. The mayor has spoken, the mayor has written to all the authorities in this country.
This is a total disgrace. For this contract was given since 2017 and nothing has been done about it. Instead, the contractor has come, done the worst he can do and leave.
Limbe 3 Mayor Seket Diboti Luma and First Deputy Limbe City Mayor Karen Moto spitting venom on the bad state of the Bimbia Dikolo Road in Limbe 3 subdivision.
We will continue to write and will continue to cry out loud. We think that the contractor, whosoever is incompetent to manage these roads.
And when people come here, his contractors insult them, that he has powers to the highest level, that they cannot touch them. Is this how the country is supposed to function?
Karen Moto say development of Limbe 3 has been put to a standstill.
I cannot go to the village because of the road. If rains fall, this place is impassable. The chiefs has complained. They have written to all high levels of hierarchy. But still yet, nobody is responding.
The mayor, Seket Diboti, wonder why, for 4 years, authorities concerned continue to extend the contracts. 2
weeks or 1 month before the rains, he comes and bulldozes the road again and goes and writes again for an extension. And nobody talks and it is approved. And this year, same thing.
Though the session was dedicated to the examination of the administrative, management and stores account for 2020, which stood at 320 million CFA francs plus, with an unstable internal revenue collection due to the ongoing Anglophone crisis and COVID-19. Focus was on the precarious nature of the road, which has greatly affected not just the council revenue, but the social and economic well-being of the people of Limbe 3 subdivision.
We've never had situations where our markets could not operate, where we could not even come to work till this particular contractor was awarded this.
Now, locals in Lumindi Mungu division of the Littoral region of Cameroon say their standards of living has dropped drastically. This is due to a rise in the prices of basic commodities. They are urging government authorities to ensure that efforts they have taken so far to stabilize prices of basic commodities are respected in the market. They are decrying the fact that this price stabilization mechanism is not being respected by traders. Details with Mala Glory.
Foodstuff displayed everywhere on the market, but yet cannot satisfy the shopping basket of a housewife. The hike of prices on food items has left the population of Lum subdivision in the Mongo division of the littoral region in complete hardship. The woman of the house finds it difficult to meet up with her daily budget.
2 days, 5,000. 5,000. I'm talking 10,000 if you have to make economic. 10,000 can only feed you for 3 days. With your small family, a family of 4 and 5 can feed you for 3 days. It's 10,000 francs. See how we are struggling. You see somebody who come over. Okay.
Many families have been affected due to the present economic situation of the country. An increase in the prices of basic commodities will be adding more insult to the injury. The population therefore call on the public authorities for immediate actions.
Look, Cameroon. Look.
See how Cameroon is rich in milk and honey. We have everything in this country. So why should things be expensive? We need a reduction in the prices of all basic commodities.
Groundnut oil, change. These are the basics.
Despite the government plan of March 2019 to stabilize retail prices of basic commodities in Cameroon, concrete actions have not been felt on the ground, leaving food prices on a continuous rise. People of Lum, like elsewhere in Cameroon, where the rise curve is felt, are calling on the government through price controllers to reinforce price stabilizing measures.
In news out of the country, 15 soldiers have been killed and 6 more missing after a terrorist attack in southwest Niger, near the border with Burkina Faso. In Madagascar, 21 persons have been arrested in connection with a planned assassination attempt against President Rojioling. Meantime, the government of Ethiopia is recruiting more youths into the military in order to better counter attacks carried out by rebels in the Tigray region. A run-up of our international page with Immaculate Fogwe.
21 people have been arrested in Madagascar in connection with a failed attempt to kill the president of the country, Andry Rajoelina. 6 people, including 2 French citizens, were initially arrested on suspicion. Among the latest arrests are 12 active military and police personnel, including 5 generals, 2 captains and 5 non-commissioned officers. 4 others are retired National Foreign Police officers and military personnel. The authorities seized the sum of 209,300 euros, a gun and 2 cars from the suspects. 47-year-old Rajoelina rose to power in March 29. With the backing of the military, he won the last election, which is reported to have been marred by fraud. Over in Niger, 15 soldiers have been killed and 6 others missing after a terrorist attack in Terodi region in southwest Niger, near the border with Burkina Faso on Sunday. The soldiers were ambushed and later hit by an improvised explosive device. The attack is said to have been orchestrated by the Al-Qaeda-affiliated group to support Islam and Muslims. It is reported to be the largest jihadist alliance in the Sahel. The Niger ground forces on their part have launched a wide search in the area in order to apprehend the terrorists. Over in Ethiopia, millions of youths are being recruited in the army. The government of the country is calling on the population to join them to fight against rebels in the Tigray region. In a statement, the Tigray People's Liberation Front called for a transitional administration in Addis Ababa. The rebels also rejected a unilateral ceasefire offered by Addis Ababa in the month of June and kept fighting even after government forces withdrew from Mekele. The rebels have since attacked and seized towns in neighboring Amhara and Afar provinces.
We told you earlier this week that finalists of the 2021 Cup of Cameroon are known. We're talking about PWD of Bamenda that beat on Saturday Union of Douala 3-0. Astre that beats Coton Sport of Garwa 3-2. PWD of Bamenda and Astre will be playing the final of the Cameroon Cup 2021. And the management of PWD Bamenda and fans are optimistic this year will be favorable for the PWD team. Smanjika and Gabriel takes a look at the PWD Bamenda team.
It was total joy that gripped PWD Bamenda supporters as the club picked up a ticket to play at the finals of the 2021 edition of the Cameroon Cup. The Abakwa Boys, as they are fondly called, overpowered a household name in Cameroon's football, Union Sportif of Douala, 3-0 at the Bamenzi Stadium in Bafoussam on Saturday to write their names at the finals. Before solving the Union of Douala equation this Saturday, PWD of Bamenda passed through clubs like Renaissance of Ngumu, Triumph FC and Avion Academy of Nkam. The finals will be the first for PWD coming after 42 years. PWD of Bamenda will be in their third appearance at the Cameroon Cup finals. PWD played against Canon of Yaoundé in 1967 and in 1979 against Dynamo of Douala, losing in their two previous finals. The opponents of PWD Bamenda, Douala-based Astre FC, will be in its fourth appearance at the finals after failing to conquer in 2007. Astre lost against Coton Sport of Garwa at the finals before losing in 2010 against Panther of Nde and 2010 against Fufu of Baham. Ironically, Astre Football Club of Douala qualified by beating Coton Sport of Garwa 3-2, a club that denied them the trophy in 2007. On paper, Astre Football Club of Douala looks favorite due to its experience at the Cup of Cameroon. But the Abakwa Boys say they are going to Yaoundé to return that trophy to Bamenda, the land that last saw the trophy when Combo Strikers picked up the cup.
It's with that report that we end this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thanks so much for watching. Do have a splendid evening. Tomorrow is another day, God willing.